Yo, man, this sea's like milk, all calm and safe.
What's that? A tsunami?
All right, folks, let's dive into a serious but super important topic today. Is the Mediterranean Sea a threat to coastal cities? Yeah, that calm, beautiful sea we all love, with its sandy beaches and bustling trade ships, might be hiding some big risks under the surface. We're talking about stuff like tsunamis. Yep, those massive waves you see in movies. Are cities like Alexandria in Egypt, Beirut in Lebanon, or even Barcelona in Spain really in danger? And what's this talk about UNESCO warning of a tsunami hitting by 2050? Is it for real or just rumors? Let's break it all down step by step in a simple way, using solid science so we can understand what's going on. Before we start, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out. Got questions or thoughts? Drop them in the comments and we'll get back to you ASAP. Ready? Let's jump in. Why the Mediterranean Sea matters. First off, the Mediterranean isn't just any sea. It's a massive body of water, about 2.5 million square kilometers, connecting 3 continents: Africa, Europe, and Asia. Over 20 countries border it, and more than 500 million people live around it. That's huge. It's been the heart of ancient civilizations like the Phoenicians, Egyptians, Greeks, and Romans, who built their empires along its shores. Today, it's a global trade hub, with 20% of the world's maritime trade passing through it. Ports like Alexandria, Marseille, Barcelona, and Beirut rely on it big time. But here's the thing. This sea isn't as calm as it looks. It sits on a geologically active zone where the African, European, and Anatolian tectonic plates meet. These plates are always moving, and that movement creates tension under the sea. One strong jolt could trigger an earthquake, which could lead to a tsunami. Scary, right? Let's talk about what that means. What's a tsunami anyway? A tsunami isn't just a big wave like you'd surf on. It's a series of powerful waves caused by something disrupting the ocean floor, like an earthquake, a landslide, or even a volcanic eruption. These waves can speed across the sea at up to 700 kilometers per hour. When they get close to shore, they turn into a wall of water that can destroy everything in its path. The worst part? You might only have 15 to 30 minutes from the time an earthquake hits to when the tsunami reaches the coast. Imagine chilling on the beach in Alexandria, hearing a warning siren, and realizing there's barely time to evacuate a whole city. That's why the Mediterranean's risks are so serious. Its shores are packed with people, and the sea isn't far from land. UNESCO's warning? Is it real? Now, let's get to that UNESCO warning. They're not joking around. They've issued a serious alert saying there's a near 100% chance of a major tsunami in the Mediterranean by 2050, and it could happen as soon as 2030. This isn't guesswork. It's based on hard science. They're looking at long-term earthquake records, satellite data tracking tectonic plate movements, and computer models that predict wave paths and heights with crazy accuracy. The Mediterranean isn't sleeping. It's full of seismic tension just waiting to snap. So why is the Mediterranean such a risky place? It all comes down to its location. Those tectonic plates I mentioned, they're constantly shifting, especially in areas like the eastern Mediterranean near Turkey, Greece, and Lebanon, where there are tons of fault lines. Cities like Alexandria are especially vulnerable, not just because they're close to earthquake-prone zones, but because parts of the city are below sea level. Even a tsunami wave just 1 or 2 meters high, not as massive as the 20-meter ones in Japan, could flood streets, ports, and beaches. Helene Hebert, a tsunami expert from France, says it's not just about the wave's height, but the rushing water that causes devastating floods, especially in low-lying coastal areas. Other countries at risk include southern Turkey, Crete in Greece, Lebanon, Syria, Palestine, Tunisia, Algeria, Morocco, southern Italy, and even southern Spain. These areas are packed with people, and a tsunami wouldn't just hit one city, it could be a regional disaster. Picture Alexandria with over 5 million people, or Beirut, still recovering from its port explosion, getting hit by a massive wave. And with only minutes between an earthquake and the tsunami's arrival, any delay in warnings could cost thousands of lives.
The Mediterranean's tsunami history. Believe it or not, the Mediterranean has a long history of tsunamis. Since the 20th century, about 100 tsunamis have hit the Mediterranean and nearby seas. That's 10% of all tsunamis worldwide during that time. In ancient times, earthquakes sank Phoenician and Greek cities. More recently, the 1908 Messina earthquake in Italy triggered a tsunami that killed thousands, and a 1956 quake in Greece caused waves that flooded shores. This sea is always active, with tectonic plates causing constant disturbances. Climate change makes it worse. Here's another problem: climate change. The Mediterranean is warming faster than most seas, with rising sea levels that could make tsunamis even more destructive. Higher sea levels mean stronger waves and bigger floods, especially in low-lying cities. Plus, the Mediterranean is one of the world's 25 biodiversity hotspots, home to 18% of global marine species. A tsunami could wreck this ecosystem, hurting fishing and tourism industries that countries like Egypt and Tunisia rely on. Are the warnings overblown? Some people argue these warnings are exaggerated. They say the Mediterranean isn't like the Pacific Ocean, where massive tsunamis hit regularly. Sure, waves here might not reach 20 meters, but even a 1-meter wave can cause chaos if a city isn't prepared. Others worry that scaring people could hurt tourism and coastal economies. But here's the truth: these warnings are based on solid science, and just because a big tsunami hasn't hit recently doesn't mean it won't. The seismic tension is building, and climate change is making things worse. What's being done? Good news, there's a plan. UNESCO launched a program called Tsunami Ready to prepare coastal cities. It includes quick evacuation plans, early warning systems like sirens and phone alerts, and community education so people know what to do when a warning sounds. In Egypt, for example, Alexandria needs evacuation drills, better awareness in schools and neighborhoods, and stronger coastal barriers. Scientists are also using satellites to monitor tectonic movements and computer models to predict tsunami paths. On top of that, countries like Egypt, Greece, and Turkey are working together to build a shared warning network. This isn't just about saving lives, it's about protecting economies too. Regular evacuation drills, like those in Japan, could make a huge difference. Wrapping it up. So, is the Mediterranean Sea a threat to coastal cities? Yes, it is, especially with the risk of a tsunami looming large. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about facing the geological and climate reality. The Mediterranean has been a partner to civilizations for centuries, but we need to respect its power and prepare for its risks. With programs like Tsunami Ready, we can be ready to face the challenge and protect our cities. If you made it this far, you're awesome! Drop a like, leave a comment with any questions about the Mediterranean or natural disasters, and we'll answer right away. Want to know more about science or nature? Let us know in the comments, and we'll cover it next. Catch you in the next one.
Whatever. UNESCO knows nothing. I'll protect myself. Oh no! The tsunami's back!